Now notice, Suratul Kafirun. This is an idafa. We know that the names of the surahs of the Quran, they are usually idafas. We see, for example, Suratul Baqarati, the surah of the cow, right? They're kind of possessive constructions. Much like the name Abdullahi, the Abd of Allah, right? This is an idafa name. As are all of the Abdul names. Not that the Arabs always pronounce them with full vocalization. I mean, of course, in the Arabic language, as we do when we recite with correct tajweed of the Quran, we often don't recite the vowel at the end of the ayah. In the same way, the Arabs, if you meet someone called Abdullah, they usually say Abdullah. But people who have the name Abdullah in many countries that are not Arabic speaking, but Arabic learning, like for example, the country where I live in Somalia, you'll meet many people called Abdullahi. It's almost as if they name their children in a way very true to the grammar of the Arabic language. So in that case, why do we have al-Kafiruna instead of al-Kafirina? If it's an idafa, we would expect the mudaf ilay to be in the majroor case, and we'd expect it to be the surah of the disbelievers, if we wanted that meaning. I've actually asked one of my teachers in the past, a long time ago, and he actually mentioned that there's actually discussion among the mufassirin about not wanting to attribute a surah to people, right? I mean, ultimately they are the surahs of Allah Azza wa Jal, like He's the one who's revealed them in His speech. So we can't really say that this surah, the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, belongs to the Kafirun. And likewise, it's not so much that the Kafirun being bad and the Muslims would be good, because we have a Suratul Mu'minun as well. So that's part of it. But then on the other hand, it may just be using the word which Allah uses in the Quran, as the first ayah of this surah uses the word al-Kafirun, as does the first ayah of Surah al-Mu'minun as well, with قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. So how do we begin this surah? Always أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. قُلْ. Of course, this is the first of our 4 quls that we'll cover. قُلْ is the imperative from the verb قَالَ. قَالَ meaning he said. But قُلْ is the imperative. قُلْ, say. يَا أَيُّهَا is nida. We're calling upon, or calling directly out to a group, where we see this Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, oh those who have believed. Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu, oh prophet. And here we have Ya ayyuhal kafirun, say, O kafiruna, O disbelievers. Kafir being the ism fa'il, the active participle of the verb kafara, meaning he disbelieved. But a kafir is the one who does the disbelieving. Likewise, an abid is the one who does the abadah. Step 6 of the Arabic in 60 Steps program, if any of you guys want to go back and revise that. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ, say, O the disbelievers. لَا أَعْبُدُ ما تعبدون. Of course, we don't say تعبدون. I'm doing the same thing that the Somalis do with Abdullahi here. We usually say لا أعبد ما تعبدون, and we do waqf. We cut off at the end of the ayah. We don't pronounce the haraka at the end. لا أعبد, I do not worship. I mentioned the verb abada, he worshipped. When we're going from the past into the present, we'd go abada ya'budu, he worshipped. He worships. A'budu, I worship in the present tense, which is why we negate it with la. As a general rule in the Arabic language, we make past tense verbs negative with ma. I'd say ma abada, he didn't worship. There's other ways of saying he didn't worship. We could also use lem. We could say lem ya'bud. We could do that. And they essentially mean the same thing. Ma abada and lem ya'bud. I don't want to say one is more eloquent than the other. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses both in the Quran. But generally speaking, with present tense verbs like a'budu, I worship, we'll make them negative with la a'budu, with la. I know in like spoken dialects of Arabic, they almost always favour ma to make verbs negative, other than imperatives maybe. And there are a handful of cases when Allah uses ma to negate a verb in the Quran. In Surah al-Mujadala, there's ma yakunu min najwa, that there is not a najwa, ma yakunu. And we also see in Surah al-Najm as well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ, that he does not speak from his desires, using ma. But so it's not that it's incorrect, but generally as, miskeen, mubtadi'een, beginners in the Arabic language, it's good to learn that the general rule is la with present tense verbs, ma with negative verbs. Ma ta'budun, I do not worship ma. So I've just mentioned ma being used to negate past tense verbs. But this is ma al-mawsula, what we call it. This is ma of meaning what in the sense of I don't eat what you eat. I don't eat what in the sense of the thing which. It's kind of ma used in place of the thing which. I don't eat the thing which you eat, or I don't sit in the place which you sit. We could use ma to mean what in that way. So I do not worship what ta'buduna, what you, all of you, the una on the end implies the plural. But more than implies, it's not subtle, it means that. It means what you, plural, worship. Wala antum, wala and nor, antum, you, plural. Antum is just the plural of enter. And you are not abiduna. Notice, I mentioned earlier, I kind of planted the seed of the abid a few minutes ago. The word abid is the doer of abada. And nor are you abiduna, and nor are you worshippers. Ma, not the negative ma, but the ma, relative ma. What, meaning the thing which? A'bud. You are not worshippers of the thing which? A'bud. Wala ana. And nor ana, and nor am I. Abidun, and nor am I an abid. I am not a worshipper. Ma abadtum. What you worshipped. And this is actually a past tense verb here. Ma abadtum. What you worshipped. Wala antum, and nor are you abiduna ma a'bud. And nor are you all worshippers of what I worship. And now we come on to the last ayah. Lakum. Lakum is a joining together of li and kum. So li means for or to. It's the same li that we use at the beginning of alhamdu lillahi, meaning the praise is for Allah. But this li turns into a la, because li changes into a la with all of the attaching pronouns, all of the dhama'ir muttasila, all of the attaching pronouns, kum, hum, hu, ha, ka, ki, all of them except ana, except the e at the end. We'd say li, which we'll see in a moment, but all of the others, it turns from a li to a la. So we don't have lihu for him, we have lahu for him. We don't have liha for her, we have laha. We don't have lika for you, we have laka. Lakum, to you, all of you, kum in the plural. Dinu, kum, your deen, to you, your deen. Wali, and to me, deen, and to me, deen. So it's really deeni. There's a number of times in the Quran when Allah kind of restricts, or even it may be even more a thing of the writing of it, that we restrict an e along ya, meaning my, deeni, to just a kasrah. There's a number of times, we see it as well with, for example, sometimes we say ya qawmi, sometimes in that expression, ya qawmi, O my nation, you see it just written with a kasrah instead of a ya. But it is waliya deen, and to me, my religion. Waliya deeni. That is everything, that's all the grammar. Some important points include what I mentioned, the ism fa'il, which we cover in step 6 of the Arabic in 60 Steps program. La a'budu, making present tense verbs negative, we cover that in step 5. Qul, being an imperative of a hollow verb. Hollow verbs we do in step 9, but the imperatives we do later down the line. Combining prepositions like li with pronouns, we do the prepositions in step 2, the pronouns in step 13. So there's a good bunch of vocab there. It's a good revision sorter actually for students who are completing their module 1. So that's everything for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please come back next week, inshallah, where we will do Surat al-Ikhlas, and then in the following 2 weeks after that, we shall complete Surat al-Falaq and Surat al-Nas. If I've made any mistakes or said anything wrong, it is from myself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam are free from it. And that's everything for today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all with the most beautiful Arabic. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.